Welcome back, degenerates. I've been waiting to do this deep dive and I'm super excited for it. And stick around till the end because I think I found an amazing potential setup for this meme coin. We're going to be looking at SPX6900. Their aim is to flip the stock market. It's a meme coin with a meta narrative. The official site is vibes heavy. There's no classic white paper. Who cares, right? Think community plus listings plus liquidity as the perfect setup. So without any more time wasted, let's dive right into it. Let's take a look at their website. It's absolutely insane and I love it. It's kind of a throwback to the early 2000s eras of websites. And, you know, you got the Jay Powell Burr meme here. You got everything you pretty much want in terms of a nostalgic type of site. I love their little intro trailer. I'm not going to play it for you. Feel free to play it yourself by visiting their website. But let's start off with the narrative and vision. And again, if you want to just see the TA part, feel free to skip ahead. The pitch is simple and it's kind of loud. We flip the S&P. That's it. Community energy is pretty real, especially on Reddit, where they have, 4,500 quote unquote angels. Their X got deactivated or suspended. I'm not sure what happened there, but doesn't really matter. It's a movement, not a protocol. That clarity helps the meme spread, but their lack of a concrete roadmap or product does keep it a little bit shallow just to keep it real here. The narrative sells. Utility is kind of optional for this one. There is a clear viral meme, which is good. There are sticky community loops. They do have a sort of couple lightweight products. They do have a swap, a bridge, whatever. They have a big following on Telegram. And for that reason, I gave the narrative and vision a 17 out of 20, a really high score. I think this is a sleeper for this cycle. It already kind of had a boom and bust. But again, I will show you the chart and share with you sort of my setup and how I'm thinking about this. But before we get there, let's move into the tokenomics and supply for SPX 6900. So there's 1 billion circulating. Burn supply sits around the meme-friendly 6.9% range. By implication, there's 69 million removed. There's no schedule VC unlocks publicly visible, which is also good. The contract itself is a plain ERC20 with buy and sell tax knobs. Again, it's on Ethereum, but they have wormholed it to Solana and Base as well. There is a bot list and there is owner logic in the code. Initial parameters sort of show a high sell tax before reductions. It's important historical context, even if today's effective tax is 0. There's around 46,000 holders on ETH, plus again, the wrappers on Solana and Base. Bridge supply does introduce contract confusion risk. There are multiple addresses for this thing. But regardless, I still gave tokenomics and supply a fairly solid score of 11 out of 20. And we can move on to tech and execution. Again, as I mentioned, there's no real tech here. This isn't a tech story. There's no audited novel protocol here for SPX. It's just a standard ERC20 on Ethereum with the, tax and anti-bot toggles and some marketing links in the header comment. Bridging is via wormhole. It is standard, but it does add some bridge risk. If you want shiny code, this is not the token for you. And that's fine if you're here just for the trade, which is how I'm looking at it. So for tech and execution, not much here. Honestly, I gave it a 9 out of 20, and we can move on to market structure and liquidity. And this is where SPX does show some teeth. They are on Kraken. It lists SPX and USD. So there are fiat rails for this, which is cleaner onboarding. It's on pretty much every exchange you can want. You can see there's 15 pages of markets for this thing. There are derivatives for this as well on Binance and Bybit perpetuals with some past leverage up to 75x. This is a volatility machine and a liquidity magnet. So you do need to be watching open interest and funding for tops and bottoms. There is DEX liquidity as well on Radium, Uniswap. There are deep venues here, right? There's fiat pairs and there's perps. That leads to better execution and hedging. There's clean exits versus what you would kind of see normally in a microcap token. For that reason, I gave market structure and liquidity a 16 out of 20. And we can move on to exit risk and VC stakes for here. Again, there's no traditional VC unlock calendar, which reduces scheduled dump risk. Huge positive sign. But it is a meme coin. There is reflexivity. And obviously with perpetuals trading on this, Price can nuke fast, as you'll see in a second when I bring up the chart. The multi-address, multi-bridge environment raises scam address mix-ups for sure, especially for normies who aren't familiar with sort of how to bridge properly. Community is loud. Bots do exist for this. The narrative fragility is real for that sense, but I still like it. I don't know what it is. I still like it. And we'll take a look at the chart next, but let's give it a score for exit risk and VC stakes. 12 out of 20. That gives us a final score for SPX6900 of 65 out of 100. This is a high risk, high reward play. It could 3x, it could 10x, it could completely die. So tread carefully for this one. Now, just a note before we look at the chart, SPX isn't trying to build anything crazy. They're not trying to build DeFi 3.0. They're just trying to build attention. And it's already brought the liquidity to go with it. If you play this game, play it like a pro. And let's take a look at the chart. So I've done some analysis here already, as you can see, some TA. And I think someone can put in their own opinion if they want. We have a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, and now we're seeing an ABC correction. This correction, in my opinion, is almost played out. What I did was I drew a fib retracement from the top of wave 5 to the first correction to A, and you can see the fib levels almost beautifully, perfectly line up. You had the 0.5 here acting as resistance, and now we are looking to sort of go down and correct. I think anything here under $1, again, this is not financial advice, but anything under $1 for SPX6900 would be an amazing buy, in my opinion. You can see this purple line here that's drawn right at the bottom of the corrective wave 4. If it breaks below this, that would basically be your stop or your exit, because the corrective wave C should not break below 4 historically in Elliott wave. But I think this is a beautiful setup, especially as we are in September, which is generally a kind of weak month seasonality wise. And I do think there will be an alt season for this cycle and that we're still early. But this setup looks great. Obviously, there's a ton of bag holders up here above $2. So I think it has room to run for sure. If you can get in at a good price, I think this is definitely the place where you want to go. Again, the retracement from 5 to A is how I came up with these fib levels. And generally for corrective wave C, you are looking at a 0.272 level or a 0.618 level as the kind of target. And that aligns neatly with sort of the corrective wave 4 here. So that's my analysis for SPX. I think if this chart does hold up and you do round out a bottom here, it would be a great entry. I want to hear your thoughts though. What do you think about the chart? Let me know. Maybe I'm completely missing something, but this looks like a great setup if you are bullish on SPX 6900. And this thing has a cult-like community behind it. It has ripped before. I mean, the percentage gains in some of these run-ups were absolutely astronomical. So I think from the first run-up, it was something like 800%. So an 8x. Could it do that again? Potentially. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope you enjoyed this video, this review of SPX 6900. If you did, I'm not even going to ask you for it. You already know what to do. I drop these 2 or 3 times a week. If you have a token that you'd like me to take a look at, drop a comment and I'll do a review on it. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.